Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. My name is Midway and I hope you're having a wonderful day because I sure am. So today we're back again in the x-samkok and we're going to be checking out another system. This time around we're going to be looking at the equipment system and talking about everything you might need to know that you might not know yet, about how to just get the most out of the system to empower your officers and just become more powerful in this game. But before we do that, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the video. If you're interested in getting bonuses whenever you are playing games like x-samkok and getting bonuses for that and just being able to get more value for your money, then go ahead and check it out. Nonetheless, yeah, let's get into the video now. Alright, so you can find the equipment system in the support tab on the bottom of the screen in x-samkok, and of course it's going to be the big ass sword over there just saying equipment, right? Face value, this system is very simple. You just equip whatever the highest tier of equipment you might have at that time, and you're pretty much going to be encouraged to do that automatically in this game by just clicking equip all, right? So it's going to be pretty simple to go through the motions and the notions of going from one tier to the other. Now, what else is there to equipment? There is levels, of course. You're going to be able to spend a lot of your silver. Now, initially you might have an excess of silver and you might think, oh well, I'm struggling to level up my officers more than I am struggling to use my silver, right? Well, that would change very soon as you are progressing through your equipment system, and soon enough you will be drawing on the items you use to the crafting stones which you use to upgrade your gear, and you will be lacking a lot of silver. So yeah, but one thing that might help out, and we'll discuss more about this in a moment, getting the crafting stones early will be to, well, just use those daily claims on the free gear you might get from the let's just say the outskirts, but we'll talk about that in a second. For now, let's just get the overview down for the equipment system, right? So of course there is a lot of gear pieces. What is there? There's a total of 12, and each of them of course will have different stats, right? So some of them might have HP on them, physical defense, magical defense, there's going to be attack as well. Of course you can expect that to come from the weapon. As you are unlocking higher and higher tiers, there's going to be additional attributes added onto each one of the pieces here. But yep, all in all, you do want to be upgrading your tier of the pieces. Of course, it will come naturally. You want to be leveling them up. That's also going to be coming naturally. And when doing so, you're also going to be unlocking just bigger bonuses that are going to be applying to all your stats in general. As you go from every 5 levels on your equipment, that's going to be the threshold. You can also see down here when you click on the equipment master, it's going to be showing you that, yeah, after reaching a certain level on every single one of your gear pieces, it's going to be increasing that equipment master 1 level, and that's going to be giving you just all the base stats, right? So you're going to be getting extra HP, attack, physical and magical defense. And when upgrading to a whole new and higher rarity or tier on all your pieces, that is also going to have a similar effect. It's going to be adding a bigger bunch of all the different attributes, and that's just going to be increased baseline. So with that out of the way, how do you get gear in this game, right? So as I mentioned before, you can claim some gear for free and you will get some more as you progress through a system which is the trial instance, which you can find in the outskirts section of the game, right? So we go to the trial instance, and here you will see that there is different categories. There is silver, EXP, equipment, and stratagem, right? So of course this is going to be on the equipment tab, and here you will be able to find that you are going to be rewarded with scaling rarities of chests, which will contain those same rarities, the ones corresponding to the chest, in the form of gear, right? So as you challenge these levels, which will be exponentially more and more difficult, you're going to be able to get those chests. There's going to be a chance that you win, just like I did right there, and that unlocks a higher difficulty that you can then sweep daily. So daily there's going to be a couple of chances. I think it's like 3 chances to sweep every single one of these different types. As I mentioned before, stratagems, equipment, EXP, and silver. You will be able to sweep all of those about 3 times a day, and then you will be also able to spend away some gold to do that over and over again until there's a cap. Actually, there's usually a cap. So you are also going to be able to claim for free one of those sweeps, so that's going to make it a total of 4 if you watch an ad, which you can of course pay to skip. And as you progress through the levels, you will also reach certain points where you're going to be getting a milestone reward. Every couple levels you go up, you're going to be able to claim one of these, which usually comes together with a bigger upgrade in the form of, in this case, an extra amount of 3 of the higher rarity pieces that you have so far unlocked. Right, so this is how you unlock your gear, and that is how you're going to be able to, over time, go from one tier to the next one. As you can see, of course, you start up on the blue ones, you quickly go through those to the epic ones, the yellow ones, and finally go to the whatever I was in, which is the red ones, and then eventually going to go to the blue ones. And as you might see here, there is a little, what you call a tip on the corner, that's a higher rarity as well, and eventually you're also going to be progressing through the star levels. So every piece not only is going to have a certain rarity or a tier, but it's also going to have a star level, which will be an extra added level of rarity onto that piece, which will also determine its stats, right? So you want to be getting higher amounts of stats as well as higher tier on every single piece. That is pretty much just how you get all your gear. Eventually you will reach the max level and all your gear will be of that tier. So what can you do with your gear? You might not be able to use all the pieces of gear, right? Some of them will be trash for you as you get to higher tiers. So what can you do with the excess ones? So in here, in the main city panel, you will find on the left the bronze beer terrace. You can just click on that, and here it's sort of going to be a recycle node where you're going to be able to star up like lower tier officers. You're going to be able to get items back from officers you already upgraded them if you want to just change the officer you're focusing on. But you can also smelt, which is basically the system that I was referring to, where all those pieces of gear that are a lower tier than the ones that we are currently using, you might get those just randomly from sweeping away and getting those rewards, as we already mentioned. What you can do here is to simply go ahead and select all the way up to the tier that you want to get them rid of, right? So right now I am selecting all the star levels because, well, if I didn't get that piece, if I wasn't told to equip it on the equipment panel, which the game automatically tells you to with a little red dot usually, then I know I don't need that gear, right? So I am safe to just select automatically all those pieces of gear up until the rarity that I'm currently using and just click on salvage. And after that, I'm going to be getting a lot of crafting stones, right? Crafting stones will be very, very hard to come by early on. You are going to be drawing in silver, as I mentioned before, but eventually that's going to phase out as silver is going to be a little bit harder to come by, at least for now, at the point where I am in the game. Now, there is also going to be a lot of events, which are of course going to be giving you extra silver and extra crafting stones, excuse me. Early on in the game, there was an event, which right now in my server is not live anymore, but you were able to claim certain amount of crafting stones if you were able to buy into it. It might cost some gold, or maybe what is it was like, I think it was $1, right? So some of those things might be worth focusing on if you are struggling to early on especially get a lot of those resources, which will be a little bit of the bottleneck. For example, in this event we currently have running in my server, you can see that we are able to get some crafting stones. In this case, it's a little bit harder to focus on getting those specifically because it's a lot more random. So of course you're going to be able to get a bunch of resources here and there. There's going to be events. There is certain gameplay types which will be able to somehow claim a little bit of that ore, maybe some gear here and there. But for the most part, what I covered is the basics of the equipment system, and I can tell you, at least up until what I have unlocked so far and I have experienced, that is all there is to it. It's pretty damn simple. It's just a matter of rolling away your resources and spending them away, and a lot of power is going to be coming coming from the system, so definitely check it out and put some time and effort into it. It's going to be very rewarding overall to just empower the overall progression and power of all your officers in general, right? So let me know if I missed out anything. Drop it down below in the comment section. I'm sure there's some tips that somebody else might be able to share with us if they're watching this video. And nonetheless, before you go, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. A lot of people that I've been talking about are playing this game and haven't checked out Aptoide. They do not know what it is, right? So let me tell you real quick about what Aptoide is, right? So Aptoide is just like Google Play. When you download apps from Aptoide onto your phone, you're going to be able to play them regularly, but then whenever you make purchases in those games that you downloaded through Aptoide, you're going to be able to earn bonuses that can go from extra 10% of however much money you're spending all the way up to extra 35%. So picture that. I am buying this pack and I currently have a small bonus unlocked, right? It's not as high as I told you before. And therefore I'm only getting 30 cents out of this pack. Now I could increase that bonus by doing things like, for example, using my code, which is going to be down here in the screen as well as down the description. And if I do use that code, then you're going to be able to unlock an extra 5% forever whenever making purchases in this game, right? So that's another extra 5% of those 3.6 euros that I'm spending. Those I'm going to be getting in the form of a bonus. Now what's up with this bonus? Well, I can then go ahead and whenever I have enough of it, I'm going to be able to do the purchase for me by using the bonus instead of using my real money. That way I can just get more value for your money, and over time, if I'm going to be doing purchases in these games anyways, I am going to be accumulating enough to just buy even more stuff, therefore just growing stronger and stronger. And you can use that bonus in any game you want so long as you play it through Apptoid, right? So let me also show you, there's going to be a guide down there in the description explaining how to set the whole thing up in your Android device as well as on an emulator on your PC. It does not work on iPhone, I am sorry, but if you do have an iPhone, you can still use that emulator that I talked about, like BlueStacks. Nevertheless, that guide will explain all you need to know, and you can always ask questions down in this video in the comment section. But yeah, here you are going to be seeing in this separate app, which is the AppCoins wallet, which you also be needing to get in your phone. You can get it from Google Play. You're going to be able to see how much money as a bonus you currently have unlocked, as well as your purchase history within the different games. You will also be able to see here where you can input that promo code that I talked about just by clicking in the promo code icon. I'm currently not using it. I'm using a promo code for a different game that I'm also sponsored by. But nonetheless, here you just type it in there and that's going to be unlocking that extra 5% bonus forever. Up here you can also see your current bonus as well as how much more you need to be spending in Apptoid in general or just by playing games through Apptoid in order to unlock a higher bonus, which will also be forever. And then down below here, all the way down here, you're going to be able to see active events going on within the AppCoins wallet, this app itself, which for a limited time, usually 24 hours, going to be increasing the bonus you get in those games in particular for 5% all the way up to extra 10%, right? So all those things put together can amount to what I told you before, that extra 35% bonus that you can get. So you can see that if you're going to be playing these games and buying stuff in them anyways, even though you might only buy a couple things here and there, you're eventually going to be able to afford even more things basically for free. You do not lose anything. You can always just pick up your progress from where you left it just by logging and syncing your account with Google Play or Facebook or whatnot. So you just log back in the game and you just take it from where you left it, right? So yeah, definitely very good value. If you do use my code, you do help me out. So yeah, go ahead and yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see any more x-samkok videos in the future. If you got any questions, always the comment section is down below. I'll try to go ahead and help you out, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see ya.